Yo, what's up guys, I'm Charis and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to be taking a look at items and unlocks that will help you with PvM. This video is aimed for beginners, but I am planning on making one for intermediate and advanced items and unlocks, so make sure you subscribe to the channel for that. I purposely didn't include things like weapons, armor, or overloads since I think most people know about those, and I wanted to include things that players at this level might not know about or not know how to use or get. Without further ado, let's jump straight into the video. The first item on the list are the KILN capes. There is one for each style and they're all best in slot for their respective style. You can obtain these capes by defeating the fight KILN. In order to unlock the fight KILN, you're gonna need the Elder KILN quest and at least one fire cape. This means you're gonna have to complete the fight capes and defeat Jad at least once. The fight KILN really isn't the challenge that it used to be, so I definitely recommend you try it out and unlock the best in slot cape for the style you want. If you still think you aren't ready to try out the fight KILN, you can always get Obsidian armor. After completing the Brink of Extinction, you're gonna unlock the Fight Cauldron, where you can get Obsidian shards to make the Obsidian armor. A full set of this armor, excluding the shield, will grant you 45% damage reduction against any Tsar creature. This of course includes the Fight KILN. So if you're thinking about going for those capes, this armor should definitely help you out. Keep in mind, once you beat the Fight KILN, you'll be given the option to choose between a cape and an onyx. The cape that you get will depend on which style you use the most throughout the Fight KILN. So make sure you're using the correct style to get the cape that you want. The next item is for people who have trained up their skills and are looking to get into PvM. You can unlock expert capes by training skills past 99 until you get a skill shard. There are 4 expert capes that require you to have different skills at level 99. You have the Artisan's cape, which requires processing skills, the Combat cape, which requires combat skills, the Gatherer's cape, which requires gathering skills, and the Support cape, which requires, of course, support skills. Once you gather all the skill shards that you need for a certain cape, you can combine them to obtain it. Expert capes have the same stats as a regular skill cape, but can hold 2 skill cape perks instead of 1. If you have one of these, you can use your strength cape on it to add its perk, which will make Dismember hit 3 extra times, and the defense cape so that you can use a Sign of Life without having to waste your pocket slot. Next up, we have another easy best in slot item to get, and this time it's the ring slot. You can obtain the Asylum Surgeon's ring by completing certain challenges after the Broken Home quest. The Ars Wiki has a really good guide on this so that you can get it first try. This ring has a 10% chance to save you all your adrenaline when using thresholds, and a 40% chance to save you 25% adrenaline on special attacks. It is overall a really good and cheap unlock. Next up, we have what should be the first switch that you learn to use. The Ring of Vigour allows you to save 10% of your adrenaline after using an ultimate ability. This ring requires 62 attack and dungeoneering to use, and you can purchase it from the dungeoneering reward shop for 50,000 dungeoneering tokens. You should be switching to this ring right before using Berserk, Death Swiftness or Sunshine, and then immediately switch back to your main ring. This will allow you to start your rotation with 10% extra adrenaline. Next up, we have the Amulet of ZEALOTS, which is an amulet not many people use. You can get this amulet from the dungeoneering reward shop for 30,000 tokens, and it increases the damage boost of certain prayers by 10%. The Amulet of ZEALOTS works with the tier 70 prayers and the Leech Strength curses, but it doesn't work with the tier 95 or tier 99 curses. This item is perfect for people who haven't unlocked curses or don't have 95 prayer yet, but can be used by anyone since the damage boost you get by using this with Leech Strength, Range Strength or Magic Strength is actually higher than the damage boost you get from tier 99 prayers. The only downside is that these prayers don't give accuracy, so only use this when your hit chance is 100%. The Dragonrider amulet is a really good unlock for people using magic. You can get this amulet by completing one of a kind. It has very good stats for how easy and cheap it is to obtain, and it will boost your damage to Dragon Breath by 10%. The GUTHIX staff is another item that you're gonna wanna get if you're using magic. It can be obtained after completing the Major Arena minigame in the Wilderness, and it requires 60 magic to wield. This item is really good for its special attack, Claws of GUTHIX. To unlock the special attack, you're gonna have to cast Divine Storm 100 times inside the Major Arena. This special attack is extremely good because it costs 25 adrenaline, it has a really high damage hit, and it also reduces the defense and affinity of the monster you're fighting. For all of you out there that are just learning PvM and don't know what affinity is, I'm not gonna get too much into it, but it basically means you're gonna hit more often. Adrenaline pots are potions that you're gonna wanna use pretty much anywhere where you're using an ultimate ability like Berserk, Sunshine, or Death Swiftness. There are different kinds, but what they'll do is boost your adrenaline at the sip of a potion. They are all untradeable, which means you're gonna have to train up your herb lore in order to use them. The only tradable one is the Super GUTHIX Rest, which I just included in here to let you know about it, but if you're a beginner, you shouldn't be using this. They all share a 2-minute cooldown, which means you can only sip one of these potions every 2 minutes. You can make the most basic of these potions at level 84 Herblore, and this will boost your adrenaline by 25%. At level 87, you can make a Super Adrenaline Potion, which will boost your adrenaline by 30%. Then we have 2 combination potions in the Replenishment and Enhanced Replenishment Potion. To make these potions, you're gonna have to complete the Plague's End quest and buy the potion recipe from Lady Maildir. These potions boost your adrenaline by 25 and 30% respectively, and they also have the effect of drinking a Super Restore. And finally, we have the Adrenaline Renewal Potion, which you can make at 115 Herblore. This potion boosts your adrenaline by 40%, but instead of doing it instantly, it does it over time. It gives 4% adrenaline per tick over 6 seconds. This is by far the best adrenaline potion, but it is pretty expensive to make, so it should only be used at high level bosses. Next on the list, we have DPS familiars. These are familiars that are gonna attack the boss alongside you, which means you're gonna get faster kills. The best DPS familiar by far is the Reaper Demon, although this does have pretty high requirements in 96 Summoning, 68 Archaeology, and the Dragon Bite Mystery from Archaeology. Second best familiar is the Silt Titan, but it also requires 99 Summoning. If you're a beginner and just getting into PvM, I don't expect you to have any of these requirements, which is why I included the Moss Titan. This is just an example of a lower level DPS familiar. Like the Moss Titan, there are a lot of lower level familiars like the Rune Minotaur or the Iron Titan. The point I'm trying to make here is that you don't need crazy high stats in order to use familiars, and bringing a lower level familiar is a lot better than just bringing nothing. So take a look at the familiars that you can use and bring them along to help you in the fight. I'll have a link in the description to the wiki page for combat familiars so that you can find the best one that suits your level. Some familiars also have damage dealing special attacks. These special attacks require the appropriate scroll to be used. Using a special attack will drain the familiar's summoning spell points marked in the box in red. The amount of summoning points required to use a special attack varies from familiar to familiar. Some examples include Death from Above for the Reaper Demon, Steel of Legends for the Steel Titan, and Bull Rush for the Minotaur familiars. There are 2 ways to make a familiar use a special attack. The first one is manually by clicking on the special move button on your familiar screen, or by keybinding your special move by right-clicking on the summoning icon in your ability bar, going to select follower interaction and selecting special attack, and then dragging that to the ability bar. You can also give the scrolls to your familiar and have it use them automatically by right-clicking on the special ability bar on the familiar interface and clicking on select auto fire rate. Then you're gonna type the number 1 so that your familiar tries to use a special attack every 1 attack. You can also type 0 to turn it off. You can augment your weapons through invention by using an augmenter on the weapon that you want. And you can add perks to an augmented weapon, which will mean a huge DPS increase. The best perks in the game can be expensive and difficult to get, but there are some that are really cheap and are really useful as well. These entry-level perks include Precise 4 to 6, Equilibrium 2 to 4, Crackling 4, or Impatient 3 or 4. Invention and perks have too much information for me to include in this video, and they require their own video, which I will be making in the future. But I included them here just for awareness and so that people that want to can do their own research and start perking up their armor and weapons. Lately, I've been impressed by the amount of returning players that don't know about War's Retreat. You can access War's Retreat by a portal just north of the Draenor Lodestone. Right away, you can talk to War to open the reward shop, and just by having 10 boss kills, you can unlock a one-click teleport straight here. In the reward shop, you can also find different unlocks and quality of life changes that you can unlock by gradually killing bosses. It also includes a bank chest, an altar that will restore your prayer and summoning points, DPS dummies so that you can practice rotations, and most importantly, the boss portals. There are 4 different portals that will teleport you straight to a boss. The portal on the right is for the newest boss release, which is currently Raksha. The portal on the left will take you to your current Reaper assignment, and both of the portals in the middle can be attuned to any boss in the game where you already have 1 kill count. This place is perfect to gear up and jump into a portal to get straight into the fight. Auras are a core part of PvMing in Runescape. There are 2 ways of obtaining auras, with a few exceptions like the Marjar aura or the Desert Pantheon aura. The first way is by spending Marks of War at War's Retreat, which you can obtain by killing bosses up to 1000 Marks of War per hour. These auras include the Berserker auras, Dark Magic, and Vampirism. The second way is by using loyalty points in Solomon's General Store. You get some loyalty points every month just by being a member. These auras include the Accuracy auras, Inspiration and Invigorate, and Penance. Auras have a certain duration before they go on cooldown, and they all can be extended by using Viswax. The cooldown can be reset for free by using a Premier artifact, or by buying an aura refresh from War at War's Retreat. The Berserk auras are the best auras in the game. There's one for each style, with Berserk for melee, Reckless for ranged, and Maniacal for magic. You can buy any of these auras for 25,000 marks of war at War's Retreat. These auras boost their respective styles level by 10%, but decrease the defense by 15%. This will increase your damage and accuracy at the cost of taking more damage. They're probably not recommended if you're just trying to learn a boss, since you are going to be taking more damage, but once you have a boss down and you're not using too much food, these are definitely the way to go. This is the only aura on here that lasts for 30 minutes and can be extended to 1 hour, as all of the rest have a 1 hour timer and can be extended to 2 hours. Just like with Berserker auras, the accuracy auras have one for each style. There's Brawler for melee, Sharpshooter for range, and Runic accuracy for magic. There's 4 tiers of each of these auras, and buying the best one will cost you 107,000 loyalty points. Because of this, along with the fact that Berserker auras are so much better, these auras have fallen behind. But if you're a returning player that already has these, might as well use them at bosses where you don't have 100% accuracy. The Dark Magic aura can be bought from War's Retreat as well for 12,500 marks of war. It's not the best aura, but it's good DPS whenever your other auras are on cooldown or whenever you're using 2 different styles. Inspiration and Invigorate are 2 more auras that aren't the best to use, but you can use if your other auras are on cooldown. Inspiration grants you 0.5% adrenaline on every hit, and Invigorate allows you to save 10% adrenaline after using an ultimate, which stacks with the Ring of Vigor so that you can save up to 20% adrenaline after using an ultimate. Both of these can be bought from Solomon's General Store. Inspiration costs 27,000 loyalty points, and Invigorate costs 115,000 loyalty points. Finally, we have Penance and Vampirism, which are usually used for lower tier bosses. You can buy Penance for 23,000 loyalty points, and Vampirism for 5,000 marks of war, although I do recommend you save up your marks of war for buying the Berserker auras first. Penance allows you to regain prayer depending on the amount of damage that you take, while Vampirism will regain your health by the amount of damage that you deal. These auras are both amazing for learning or AFKing a boss. Anyways guys, that's gonna be it for this video. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. I am gonna be coming out with the same video for intermediate and advanced players, so make sure you don't miss those. You can click on screen now to go to my channel, a random video that YouTube will select for you, and my Road to Golden Reaper playlist, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya!